Historic firsts. You folks are about to witness a historic first. So you're right. Your wager, $2,800. $30,000 today, and now a total of $2,006,300.
Few trivia champions have captivated audiences like Ken Jennings. After rising from obscurity and achieving a record-breaking Jeopardy winning streak, he became a household name almost overnight. But what happened when the games ended and the spotlight intensified? Behind his celebrated intelligence lies a more complicated journey shaped by media pressure, personal challenges, controversy, and unexpected career changes. From legendary contestant to television host, Ken's story is about much more than answering questions. It's a remarkable tale of fame, setbacks, and reinvention. The Jeopardy winning streak. Ken Jennings's rise to fame began in the most unlikely way. A quiet trivia enthusiast from Salt Lake City who captured lightning in a bottle on national television. When he first appeared on Jeopardy in 2004, no one anticipated what would follow. Over 75 consecutive wins, Jennings shattered previous records and became a sensation overnight. This streak was not just impressive for its length, but for the breadth of knowledge and quick recall he demonstrated round after round. His run amassed $2,600,000 in winnings, catapulting him from everyday life into pop culture stardom. What made Jennings stand out was the combination of intelligence and affability. Viewers saw a relatable prodigy, not just a robotic contestant. His success sparked discussions about trivia mastery and even academic prowess. The streak felt historic and unbreakable, setting a new standard for Jeopardy contestants everywhere. The formula for his success was as much about strategy as it was knowledge. Jennings carefully managed his wagers and board selections, often taking calculated risks that paid off handsomely. His calm demeanor and ability to stay focused under pressure impressed not only audiences, but also fellow contestants. As his streak grew, so did the anticipation and excitement surrounding each appearance, turning the show into must-watch television. Despite relentless spotlight, Jennings remained grounded. He spoke modestly about his achievements, often attributing his success to hard work and passion for trivia, rather than natural talent alone. This humility endeared him further to fans who saw him as an approachable intellectual. His rise created a new dynamic for Jeopardy as a cultural phenomenon, turning a standard game show into a national talking point overnight. The streak came to an end at 75 wins, a record that remains unbeaten. Yet, even in his final game, Jennings maintained composure and sportsmanship, qualities that reinforced his positive reputation. The public's fascination did not fade with the end of his run. If anything, it intensified. Fans and critics alike were eager to learn what would happen next for this unexpected star. His performance on Jeopardy redefined what many thought possible in the world of trivia competitions. Jennings became a benchmark for future contestants, inspiring a new generation of quiz enthusiasts. The mix of intense preparation and natural curiosity he showcased changed how people viewed knowledge games, elevating their status in popular culture. His streak was not just a winning run, but a cultural event. The glow of victory, however, came with its own challenges. Overnight fame and relentless attention forced Jennings to adjust to life under public scrutiny. The expectations placed on him were high, and every step he took was watched closely. It was clear that his journey was only beginning, and the road ahead would test him in ways far beyond the trivia board. While the world celebrated a champion, behind the scenes, the pressure was mounting. How would Jennings handle this sudden surge of fame? Would the public's adoration translate into lasting success? Or would the weight of expectation become too much? These questions lingered as he transitioned from contestant to public figure. The excitement and complexity of Jennings's early experience on Jeopardy set the stage for what was to come. As the spotlight intensified and his life began to change dramatically, media fame and public reaction. Following his unprecedented run, Ken Jennings sort of got shoved into this fame level. that very few game show contestants seemed to ever touch. Media outlets started practically chasing him for interviews, profiles, and appearances, and somehow he became a household name almost overnight. That kind of attention moved his life in ways he hadn't really expected, bringing some genuinely exciting opportunities, but also a lot of unplanned scrutiny too. The public's curiosity about Jennings didn't stay just on his trivia skills either. It also spread into his personality, his background, and all that other human stuff people like to analyze. Television producers and late-night talk shows invited him on as a guest, which raised his profile far past the usual Jeopardy bubble. Sure, the exposure opened doors, but it also dragged him into this whole new set of complications, like wading through tricky celebrity water. Suddenly, every word he said, or every small action he took, could get magnified, or maybe even misread. And then there was the added pressure of keeping a favorable public image, which stacked right on top of the expectations he already had. Social media was just starting to show up around that time, and fans seemed to quickly pick Jennings as someone to admire, and also to argue about a bit. He then became the topic of forums, fan sites, and endless online conversations, where people were dissecting not only his gameplay, but also his personality, as if every little detail mattered. That whole democratization of fame kind of brought a mixed pile of praise and pushback. Some folks loved his intelligence and his humility, but others started to question whether his streak was fair, or they went on to guess about what he was really trying to do. The media also leaned harder into his personal life, and it all got louder. His upbringing, his education at the University of Washington, and even his interests outside trivia became stuff that lots of outlets covered. None of that felt normal or familiar terrain for Jennings, because before this, he'd basically lived a pretty private life. Suddenly, he had to learn the ropes fast, about media relations and about public expectations that he never really had to deal with in the same way. And the spotlight came with its own problems, mainly privacy and personal boundaries. There were moments when Jennings felt like every move was being watched, and it made it harder to keep any sense of normalcy. He was stuck in this balancing act, being a public figure while also trying to keep his own space. That tension is pretty common for anyone dealing with sudden, rapid fame, especially when they're in a niche that isn't usually tied to celebrity in the first place. Even with these pressures, Jennings managed the attention with this kind of calm, and he would often say thanks for the chances that his fame basically handed him. In interviews, you can see he stayed aware of what his image meant, like a representative of intellectual achievement, but at the same time, he didn't really hide the strains of public life. Overall, it points to how sudden fame can be a double-edged sword, opening doors, sure, but also stacking brand new hurdles in the way. People reaction also felt like it kept growing. There was this itch of curiosity about what came next. Fans started asking whether Jennings would show up again on the show, maybe go for a career in television, or slowly ease out of the spotlight. The story around him drifted away from being only a game show contestant, and it became more about a public figure, with this ongoing, evolving narrative. That change basically shifted expectations and, in turn, shaped how Jeopardy and the broader entertainment industry viewed him. And yeah, the spotlight on Jennings went further than him alone. It set new sort of standards for future Jeopardy contestants. They would now step into a field with way higher visibility and extra pressure. His path became a blueprint for both the bright highs and the rough lows that can come from television success. The public embrace, and also some of the critique, made it clear that navigating fame is complex. It's not just about being a gifted player, and then everything follows. As his media journey unfolded, Jennings faced not only the benefits, but also the consequences of living life under the gaze of millions. This reality shaped his personal and professional path in ways few could have predicted. Post-streak career decisions. After the whirlwind of his record-breaking Jeopardy run and intense media exposure, Ken Jennings was faced with the challenge of carving out a sustainable career beyond the quiz show stage. His unprecedented success had made him a recognized figure, But translating fame into a lasting professional endeavor proved complicated. Jennings had to navigate offers, expectations, and his own desires for a meaningful and balanced life. Initially, Jennings leveraged his trivia fame by appearing on various television programs and participating in other game show events. These appearances kept him in the public eye and showcased his breadth of knowledge, symbolizing a new type of celebrity rooted in intellect rather than traditional entertainment. Yet, he quickly realized that riding the wave of fleeting fame was not a long-term solution. He needed a plan that would sustain his interests and personal goals. Ken also ventured into writing, authoring books about trivia, knowledge, and his experiences. His debut book, Brainiac, offered a deep dive into quiz culture and his personal story. Writing gave him a platform to connect with fans on a different level, allowing him to reflect thoughtfully rather than reactively. Through publishing, Jennings transformed part of his public persona into a lasting legacy. Alongside writing, Jennings explored roles in digital media and trivia-related projects. He contributed to websites, hosted podcasts, and participated in online trivia communities. These ventures kept him engaged with like-minded audiences and provided a degree of professional autonomy. The internet offered flexible opportunities that aligned with his passion, contrasting with the rigid schedules of television production. Despite these efforts, Jennings was candid about the challenges inherent in maintaining relevance. The niche nature of trivia fame meant limited mainstream opportunities compared to other celebrities. Furthermore, he often faced the public's expectation to constantly perform or outdo his past achievements. This pressure sometimes created personal and career frustrations that Jennings openly acknowledged. To stabilize his career, Jennings also took on consulting and hosting roles that complemented his skill set. His expertise was sought after for game show formats and trivia programming beyond Jeopardy, signaling recognition of his broader value in entertainment. These roles allowed him to build a diverse portfolio without solely relying on on-screen appearances. Throughout this period, Jennings remained mindful of preserving his credibility and authenticity. He avoided overexposure and carefully selected projects that resonated with his identity as a trivia authority and thoughtful communicator. This deliberate approach helped him avoid the pitfalls of celebrity burnout or typecasting, positioning him for longevity. His post-streak years were marked by a balance of opportunity and restraint, as he learned to navigate fame's complexities while staying true to himself. Each decision contributed to building a multifaceted career that extended beyond his original Jeopardy success. These developments hinted at a return to the show with a new, evolving role. The way Ken Jennings managed his emerging career after Jeopardy revealed much about his character and long-term vision, setting the stage for his surprising re-emergence in the Jeopardy community once again. The return to Jeopardy. After years of building a multifaceted career, Ken Jennings made a notable return to the Jeopardy world, but this time in a very different capacity. Rather than competing, he emerged as a valued presence behind the scenes and ultimately in front of the camera as a guest host. This transition marked a new chapter, one that allowed him to stay connected to the show that launched his fame, while evolving his role in ways few could have predicted. His return was welcomed warmly by fans who had followed his journey from contestant to media personality. Jennings's deep knowledge of the game, paired with his relatable nature, made him a natural fit for hosting duties. He demonstrated a genuine respect for the show's traditions while bringing his own charm and wit. This balance helped ease viewers into a new era for the iconic quiz show. Jennings was part of a broader search for a permanent host after the passing of Alex Trebek, a revered figure who had shaped Jeopardy for decades. The show faced an uncertain future, and Jennings's involvement signaled a potential bridge between its storied past and uncertain future. His experience as a contestant and public figure gave him a unique perspective that few others could offer. While not immediately named permanent host, Jennings served as a guest host over multiple episodes and special tournaments, showing versatility and professionalism. He managed to maintain the show's trademark pacing and intellectual rigor, winning praise from both longtime viewers and new fans. His hosting style reflected a blend of humility and enthusiasm, qualities nurtured by his own rise through the game's ranks. Beyond the screen, Jennings also contributed to Jeopardy's ongoing development, offering insights on question selection, contestant dynamics, and show pacing. His role evolved into that of an ambassador for the brand, helping to maintain the show's relevance in an era of changing media consumption. This behind-the-scenes involvement underscored his commitment not just to Jeopardy, but to the culture of knowledge and learning it represents. Jennings's return highlighted how he adapted to shifting circumstances with grace. Instead of clinging solely to his contestant glory days, he embraced a broader, more influential role. This reinvention demonstrated maturity and vision, qualities that resonated widely. His journey from champion to host represented a full-circle moment, symbolizing growth and persistence. The renewed connection also rekindled public interest in both Jennings and Jeopardy itself. His presence generated buzz and helped stabilize the show during a transitional period. Viewers appreciated seeing a familiar and respected face guide the program forward, blending nostalgia with fresh energy. This balance proved vital as Jeopardy sought to maintain its cultural and entertainment value. Moreover, Jennings's journey back to Jeopardy reminded many that the show is more than just a game. It's a community and tradition that evolves with its participants. His evolving role embodies that continuum, where past and present meet to shape the future. This ongoing engagement signals that Jennings's story with Jeopardy is far from over. As Jennings settled into this expanded role, the public began to see him through a new lens, not just as a trivia legend, but as a thoughtful contributor to a beloved institution. Personal challenges and growth. While Ken Jennings' public persona often emphasizes intellect and composure, his private life has included moments of struggle and self-reflection that have deeply influenced his journey. Navigating sudden fame, career shifts, and evolving roles brought pressures that tested his resilience and authenticity. These personal challenges contributed to a fuller, more nuanced picture of the man behind the trivia genius. Among the most significant personal adjustments Jennings faced was balancing the expectations of public life with his own mental and emotional well-being. The relentless scrutiny, both from media and fans, created a degree of stress that few inside the game show world had previously experienced at his level. He has spoken openly about the importance of maintaining boundaries and prioritizing mental health, a conversation uncommon among contestants until recent years. Jennings also had to come to terms with the idea that his identity could not be solely defined by quizzing achievements. This realization required growth and reevaluation of purpose beyond the game. He sought to broaden his interests and contributions, investing in writing, public speaking, and supporting educational causes. This diversification helped him find balance and sustained fulfillment. Relationships, too, played a critical role in Jennings's personal development. Support from family and close friends acted as an anchor amid the fluctuations of fame. Jennings has highlighted how these bonds provided perspective and grounded him during challenging times. The human connection behind the trivia fame proved essential to his continued growth. Additionally, Jennings encountered moments of public misinterpretation or criticism that prompted introspection. Handling backlash or misunderstandings required patience and maturity. Instead of retreating, he often responded with thoughtful communication, turning adversity into an opportunity for dialogue and learning. This approach strengthened his credibility and connection with fans. His experience also inspired Jennings to advocate for more mindful and inclusive approaches to trivia and knowledge sharing. He recognized that intellectual pursuits flourish best in environments that encourage curiosity without judgment. By promoting this philosophy, Jennings helped broaden the appeal of trivia, making it more accessible and enjoyable to diverse audiences. The evolving balance of private challenges and public expectations became a recurring theme in his later career. Jennings demonstrated that personal growth and professional success are rarely linear but intertwined journeys. His willingness to be vulnerable and authentic added depth to his public image and enriched his contributions to the Jeopardy community. Ultimately, overcoming these personal challenges became an empowering force for Jennings. They allowed him to reconcile his past achievements with a broader vision for his role in entertainment and education. This growth positioned him as a respected figure not only for his knowledge, but for his character. His story reveals how even the brightest spotlight can cast shadows, and how facing those shadows can lead to a more profound understanding of self, collaborations, and hosting roles. Ken Jennings' journey through the Jeopardy universe kinda changed a lot. Like, he stopped being just a contestant or a guest host and more or less became something wider. Over time, his collaborations grew. He started working closely with producers, writers, and even former hosts, kind of like a bridge between what the show used to be and where it might go next. In that sense, it let Jennings help shape the brand in a real way, while also still expanding his own public image in fresh, unexpected directions. And when he served as a guest host across multiple special tournaments, plus regular episodes, he showed he had real command over the show's pacing and spirit. Fans and colleagues seemed to recognize that quickly. His hosting style was polished, but also pretty approachable, and you could see how that came from his years as a top player and also from his life as a media personality. He wasn't just stepping in to fill space, he brought his own tone and momentum, so the whole viewing experience felt more enlivened, even when the format stayed familiar. In addition to hosting, Jennings took on producing and consulting gigs too, advising on question creation, contestant selection, and show pacing. His input seemed to help keep Jeopardy's trademark mix of difficulty and fairness, which is kind of the whole point. This behind-the-scenes involvement really shows his commitment to the game's integrity and relevance, and it underlines how seriously he seems to treat the show's cultural weight. Jennings also worked alongside Alex Trebek's family and the Jeopardy production team, kind of to honor Trebek's lasting legacy. You could feel that teamwork in the tributes and the events, where remembrance was balanced with the show's continued evolution. Being in that process made Jennings' connection to Jeopardy deeper, not only as a show, but also as a community and an institution. And outside Jeopardy, Jennings broadened his collaborations into other trivia-related ventures, like digital platforms and trivia competitions across the world. His reputation as a trivia authority made him a pretty requested figure for events and partnerships that went beyond television. Those chances let him shape the wider quiz culture while still keeping strong ties to his Jeopardy roots, even when the stage looked different. Jennings' growing partnership with producers also kinda led to co-hosting special editions and tournaments, along with other former champions and celebrity guests. In a way, these shared appearances brought a new wave of energy, plus that easy camaraderie, which is nice. There were a few really memorable moments that still hit with longtime fans, and also with new people who just stumbled in. That whole cooperative angle kind of made Jennings feel like both a leader and a real collaborator inside the trivia world. Then there's his work with the Jeopardy team too, which wasn't only about the show in the strict sense. He also helped nurture young talent and backed educational initiatives. Plus, he jumped into promotional efforts that were meant to spotlight knowledge and learning. Jennings came off as a champion not just of the game, but of intellectual curiosity more broadly. Those collaborations kept reinforcing the show's mission, and they also widened who the show could reach. The ties Jennings built through these roles show, in a matured way, how he understands teamwork and legacy. His shift from lone champion to part of the team player role kind of echoes Jeopardy's own journey through changing times. And that synergy really helps the show stay popular and keep a cultural echo. As Jennings deepened his collaborations and hosting engagements, his influence reached far beyond individual accomplishments, shaping the very fabric of the Jeopardy experience for generations to come. Impact on trivia and popular culture. Ken Jennings' influence extends well beyond his Jeopardy wins and hosting duties. He has fundamentally reshaped how trivia is perceived and celebrated in popular culture. His unprecedented success helped elevate game shows from simple entertainment to respected intellectual pursuits. By embodying curiosity, knowledge, and humility, Jennings inspired a broad reassessment of what it means to be a know-it-all. His story triggered a surge of interest in trivia competitions across the globe, sparking a renaissance of quiz-based formats on television and online. Inspired by Jennings, new trivia leagues, apps, and social media communities blossomed, attracting diverse audiences hungry for mental challenges and connection. This democratization of trivia also fostered a sense of identity and pride among enthusiasts everywhere. Jennings became a symbol of accessible intelligence, demonstrating that knowledge could be both admirable and fun. His approachable demeanor helped dismantle stereotypes about trivia being elitist or niche. This shift expanded trivia's reach, encouraging people of all ages and backgrounds to engage with learning in entertaining ways. He also pioneered the role of the trivia expert as a modern celebrity, blending erudition with relatability. Jennings showed that intellectual achievement need not be separated from humor, personality, and cultural savvy. This model influenced public perceptions of intelligence and reshaped the entertainment landscape to include more diverse representations of knowledge. His contributions include popularizing a new vocabulary around trivia, from strategic gameplay to statistical analysis. By discussing his methods and thought processes publicly, Jennings offered a window into the skill and preparation behind successful quizzing. This transparency enriched the audience's appreciation for competitive trivia as a serious and demanding discipline. Jennings's impact is evident in educational spheres as well, where his advocacy for curiosity-driven learning has influenced pedagogy and public initiatives. He has participated in and promoted programs emphasizing lifelong learning and critical thinking. This intersection of entertainment and education highlights the power of trivia beyond mere pastime. The cultural footprint Jennings left encourages a more reflective and engaged audience, one that values facts, history, and intellectual challenge. His prominence has led to a dynamic where trivia is seen as a tool for connection, not just competition. This transformation is subtle yet profound, affecting how society views knowledge in everyday life. Moreover, Jennings's presence in media helped bridge generations, connecting fans who grew up with traditional quiz shows to younger audiences consuming trivia digitally. This continuity reinforced trivia's place in popular culture as a unifying and enduring form of entertainment. His journey symbolizes the evolving relationship between media, knowledge, and community. With his cultural impact firmly established, the next chapter in his story looks forward to what the future holds beyond his already impressive legacy. What lies ahead? Ken Jennings keeps on evolving his role in trivia and entertainment, sorta embracing new openings that somehow build on that rare mix of brainpower and media charm. Off Jeopardy, he stays in motion with knowledge-heavy projects, like hosting podcasts and joining educational efforts too. Jennings leans on these outlets to add more touchpoints for learning and curiosity, and he's shaping a legacy that goes past his game show days, almost like he's stacking something bigger. Lately, his involvement with tech-minded trivia and quiz formats shows how adaptable he is, especially as media keeps shifting. When he hops onto digital platforms or uses apps, he pulls in younger crowds and a wider variety of people, so trivia doesn't feel frozen in time, not in an era where streaming and online interaction sorta rule everything. That also points to his belief that the way folks take in information is constantly changing, and so the formats have to keep innovating. Jennings has also said he's interested in widening trivia's reach by working alongside other game shows and cultural events. His appearances at conventions, trivia matchups, and intellectual festivals extend his footprint while still pushing a playful, tough-minded angle on knowledge. This looks like he wants trivia to stay a vibrant part of everyday public life, not just some niche hobby that lives quietly in the background. Also, Jennings has been showing a more and more serious commitment to nurturing new talent inside the Jeopardy community and in that wider trivia world. He mentors people who are just about to step into the spotlight, and he also pushes for more participation from different kinds of backgrounds, so the whole tradition of head-to-head quizzing stays welcoming, energetic, and kind of moving. That kind of investment in what comes next really points to his long-term dedication to the culture he helped popularize in the first place. Outside the public spotlight, Jennings still stays aware of balancing what he does professionally with personal growth. His experience dealing with fame and handling career shifts has given him a careful mindset about work-life balance. That way of thinking ends up guiding how he chooses projects and how he talks with fans, which makes his path feel more grounded and sustainable. Some fans wonder, maybe Jennings could someday take permanent hosting duties on Jeopardy, or step into even bigger roles across the franchise. He stays pretty modest about those ideas, though, but his growing influence and how flexible he's proven to be make him a solid choice for continued leadership. His trajectory implies his presence will still be a cornerstone of the show's identity for a long time to come. Meanwhile, Jennings keeps championing that intellectual curiosity is kind of a core vital piece of culture and society. Through speeches, writings, and some media work, he pushes for a world where knowledge is celebrated and somehow easy to reach. That outlook inspires fans, students, and trivia enthusiasts alike to take learning as a lifelong adventure, not just a phase or thing you do once. Ken Jennings' story is one of talent, resilience, and transformation, from record-breaking champion to influential host and cultural figure. His journey teaches us that behind every victory lies complexity and growth. If you enjoyed uncovering what really happened to Ken Jennings, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into fascinating stories like his.